Well, good morning. Thanks very much for joining us. It's always a special occasion around here when we get to sit down and talk with the governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And here in part one of a two-week, two-part interview is Governor Charlie Baker. Welcome, Governor.
How are you, John?
Good to see you.
Yep,
Happy spring.
Same.
Can the crummy weather be blamed on you or not?
You can blame pretty much whatever you want. People do.
People in politics get used to that,
yes,
right?
We do.
Being blamed
we also
for everything.
take credit for things that are good that we probably don't have a lot to do with either.
Okay, well, we don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. We're just stick with the blame game today.
Okay.
Thank you for being here. So just the other day, the State Gaming Commission, headed by your former Deputy Chief Legal Counsel, found that the company formerly known as Wynn Resorts committed, quote, profoundly disturbing numerous violations of controlling statutes and regulations, end quote, as they covered up Steve Wynn's alleged sexual misconduct and misled state investigators. And yet, the MJC levied a mere $35 million fine on a company with a market cap of nearly $16 billion. Doesn't that send a message to other big money bad actors that they can make a farce of Massachusetts regulations and walk away with a slap on the wrist?
Well, I think, as you know, the Gaming Commission was set up as an independent entity and operates as such. I'm glad they finished their investigation. Clearly, Steve Wynn was engaged in a whole series of incidents and activities that were despicable, and I'm glad they finished their investigation, and I'm glad they issued their report. You'd have to talk to them about the nature of the penalty. I do think, in addition to that, I think they personally fined the CEO. I don't remember the amount, which was pretty unusual, and I do think it's important that whatever the monitoring mechanism is that they're going to set up, which was also talked about in the report, I think that thing really needs to be serious.
Well, one of the commissioners, Enrique Zuniga, said at the press conference the other day, this fine is meant to act as a deterrent for Wynn Resorts and other operators. Do you believe $35 million is a deterrent to a company of this size?
Well, first of all, I don't know enough about that business and how a fine on a company and on a CEO in Massachusetts plays out across the rest of the industry and the other states that this stuff is regulated in.
Hold on a second.
I mean, it could be that Massachusetts is setting a precedent here. I don't know.
Well, you ran a big company for a while,
I did.
Right?
Yep.
Worth many millions of dollars.
A nonprofit, by the way, yeah.
Okay, a nonprofit. Still, I don't know the extent to which you guys were ever fined for anything, but surely as a businessman, you have a sense of whether or not this is, as I'm suggesting, a slap on the wrist.
It's definitely a slap. With respect to whether it's a slap on the wrist or a slap on the face, I don't know. And you need to talk to the Gaming Commission to determine how they determined what they thought was an appropriate response to the findings of the investigation. I will say this. I do think this will be a message for other jurisdictions in which Wynn or any of these other companies operate. They did get rid of the vast majority of the board of directors. Obviously, Steve Wynn stepped down. They got rid of most of the senior leaders who were directly involved in this issue. But again, I think you got to talk to them to figure out what the rationale was here. And I do think that the monitor needs to be for real, whatever the mechanism is that's associated with that. And I do think the fine directed at the CEO, that's pretty unusual.
Well, Wynn and MGM, also who operates the Springfield Casino, already have a track record of seeking relief from the state gaming law, and that's something where they come to the legislature for. That's not strictly the MJC. They sought multiple changes, including dropping criminal record checks for some employees and the requirement that they report comped rooms. If we can't really make them pay for being less than honest during the licensing process because the building is in the ground, how are we going to stand up to them down the road if they come back looking for more givebacks?
Well, so far there's been a lot of back and forth about other elements associated with this, and I think the legislature's been pretty good about that. I do think the issue you're raising is a good one, and that's why I think whatever the monitoring mechanism that gets put in place better be for real. I can tell you that from our point of view, we're going to look very dimly on legislation that would change much of anything associated with this with respect to the role that we play as arbiter of whatever the legislature and we work on.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll continue our conversation with the governor of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker, in just a moment, so please stay with us.